how to enter contacts into your system. So from my home ribbon, when I go to contacts, you're going to see there's a search for, says contact or service item. In this session, we're going to discuss just contacts. So first of all, before I go enter a contact, the best way to do this is to search and see if they're there in the first place. So the search allows you to search by name, phone number, or email. And the nice thing about this is you don't even have to know how to completely spell a name. If I just type in J-O-H and hit enter, it's just going to look for anything with J-O-H. And the system does not care whether it's a first name, last name, if you have multiple names, if it's a company name. So it will pull up anything with that string of letters. The other way you can do this is type in a phone number, hit enter. The system will search your store. If it doesn't find it, it does the white pages reverse directory. Now this is going to be kind of hit and miss because everybody uses cell phones now, but a lot of cell phones will pop up in here. And what you do is you click on it once. If you look on the right, you'll see there's a little rundown. And if that is the customer, all I have to do is right click and hit edit, and it starts the contact card with that information on it. The third way to search in here is by email. So if I go in and type in an email address, if I put John, at email.com or whatever, and hit enter, it will search the database for that specific email. So a lot of ways you can search. So if that customer is not in here and you need to add them, we just go up to add, and that's going to start a blank contact card. Now, when you're entering a contact in here, remember, this is just a card. It's just all in the way you set it up. If it's a company, you do have a company field here. So if I put in, say, John's AC Service, that's the company name. You notice how it automatically fills in the file as. Now the name box, that could be anybody. Maybe I want to contact John Smith. You do have to capitalize letters yourself. System won't do it automatically for you. Anytime you see these little drop downs here, you can open it up. This is just a label. How you can label this name. You can even type in your own label if you want. Now I have a John Smith with John's AC Service. So at any point in time, once I start putting these names in, I can actually change this on how it's going to be filed in the system. So if I do this and I hit save, you see that's the way it's filed in the system. Let's go edit this and we'll put it back. You can also add as many different names as you want. All you have to do is come up to the top right where it says insert name. I can insert names, as many phone numbers, as many emails and web addresses as I need. So you just simply click it, add another name. Now again, if I want to change this, maybe this is the accounting department, and I need to get a hold of Mary Jane for the accounting. Okay. Again, even if I'm adding different names, I can still search by any of these names. I can look for Mary, I can look for Jane, and still find this contact in the system. Same thing goes with phone numbers. Just type in a phone number. Now I put the dashes in. You don't have to, you can just straight type it in. And then once you do that, you just hit tab on your keyboard, it'll automatically set it up for you. And again, these are labels. So add as many as you need. Nice thing about emails, let me go hit one more time here. So you'll notice the first one has an envelope, and after that, they will have a little star. This very first one, if you put it in, if I need to contact this customer through email, all I have to do is click on the envelope, and this will launch your email. So you can email direct from a contact card this way. The address, best piece of advice I can give you here is do not type here. Click here. Now this is going to open up an address field for you. So this is where you want to put in the address. Now city, that just happens to be a default that was put in this demo database, but you can have your default set up with a city if you want. You can have a state or a province. You can have your postal codes. You can also say which country they're from and any notes. Now by doing it this way, this ensures that this will be formatted correctly for your documents. They'll come out nice and clean that way. So you just hit OK and you got it in. And again, I can always change the label. Okay. This is just a preferred contact method here, email, phone, snail mail. So you can pick whatever you want here. This no messaging, no email, and no postcard is for the CRM marketing. So if you have customers that don't want you contacting them through the marketing, check the boxes. It actually just takes them off the list. Here is your marketing source. So if you want to select your marketing source, you certainly can. You know, if they came in off the website or something. Again, I can pull reports on marketing sources. And then I have my contact tags. Here I have a shop supply exemption, things like that. So if I say, well, I do not ever want to charge shop supplies to this client, put the tag on, hit OK, and anytime I write a work order, they will not be charged shop supplies. If I need to remove a tag, click it, highlight it, and then just hit the little X up here at the top right, and that'll remove it. The notes field is any particular notes that you want to put about this customer. These do not print on any of the documents, such as authorization pages or invoices or anything. This is just a visual for you. You can put in whatever notes you need. The only way a customer will ever see these notes is if you physically show them the screen. That's your main setup page. Now details, this is the background settings. The system will automatically track first invoice, last invoice, how many invoices, how many credits invoices you've done, their lifetime spending, and their average RO. So it'll take all the jobs that you do, whether it's a counter sale or any vehicles they bring in, you know, give you a total lifetime average and spending here. And you can rebuild this. What rebuild does is just recalculates everything to let you know if your averages are going to be correct. You do have an attribute section. Here's where I can select a contact category if I wish. I might say, well, hey, this guy's going to be a fleet account or something. I can do that. Again, another way to pull reports and track all my fleet customers. You do have a PO required, purchase order required. This will force you to put a purchase order on, and you will not be allowed to invoice the work order unless there is a PO. So it will force you to put something in. Default to email only, what that means is when I go to post the work order to a finalized invoice, it just automatically flips it from print to email. So I don't have to actually click on anything. It'll just automatically email. This is an attribute. This is called the birthday. Again, I can go put in maybe their birthday. I want to keep it on file, send them a birthday card or something. And again, you can make as many different attributes back here as you want. Discounts. Default labor rate. Now what this means is it's going to always use whatever is first in the list. Now, if I have different labor rates depending on the type of clientele that I'm working with, then I can actually switch them around. You don't necessarily have to use this unless it's something other than your number one. Okay. You can add pricing profiles. You know, I might have a fleet profile or something like that. I can click it here and add it on. If I don't want to do that, I can also do just a flat labor discount. That just shows up as a straight discount on all labor. And you want to apply it to any discounted service packages. Default inventory cell level. So depending on how many inventory levels you have in your system, again, number one will always be the default. You don't need to select that if that's all you got. But if you have different ones for different types of clientele, you can certainly change it. and you can put a pricing profile for materials, or just a straight percentage off all materials. What that means is going to discount on the work order all parts, whether they come from inventory or whether they come from an outside source. If I do here, this is only going to affect inventory. And then I can apply it to discounted packages also. Tax exemption, if I go add, I pick whatever appropriate sales tax I have. So if they're going to be tax exempt, I go in, put it in, put my number in. This number will print on the work order and invoice. It does force you to put something. So if I don't put anything and I hit OK, see, it'll force me to put something in here. So you do have to put something here, and it does print on the documents. Accounting, this is where you would set up a receivable account. So if you want to give this customer a charge account, you just simply hit create. You'll set your term. Now this just happens to be a default that's already set in the system. You can set your limit. Do you want to do a late fee or a service charge? How do you want to do your statements? You can pre-set up if you want to print them or email them. Now, associated contacts, what this allows you to do is have other contacts within your system charge on this account. So if this person were to come in and say, look, I have drivers that come in, the vehicles would be under their name, not under John's AC. I want them to charge on my account. I add, and it's going to search for the driver. So let's say a guy named Mr. Gray comes in, hit enter. I go find him, hit select. So now Mr. Gray can charge on John's account. If Mr. Gray is no longer going to charge on John's account, then I just simply delete him. Those are all the settings for a customer. Last would be invoices. Now he is a brand new customer, so he's not going to have any invoices. So let's go pull up a customer that does have some invoices. So I'm going to save and close them in here temporarily. So there's John's. Let's go pull up a different customer that has some invoices so you can see how that looks. So we're going to look at Mr. Blue here. We're going to right click. We're going to do an edit. You'll notice when I right click, these are the same features that are up here at the top. Okay. So we're going to edit this contact. We're going to go to invoices. So when I look at these invoices, you'll see there's a start and end date. There's a 3 years. Okay. You can always change these dates to whatever you want. Doesn't matter. And this is going to be all invoices for this contact. You'll notice this customer has several vehicles that they bring to me. And there's even situations where maybe we're doing a counter sale or something like that. That's what that is. So if he says, well, hey, I need my invoices from last year or something, I can click on an individual item. So let's just pull this Kia, for example, and I can just tell the system to go ahead and print it. Okay. If I want to go look at an invoice, all I have to do is just simply double click it. I can get all my details this way. See, I don't even have to really leave the contact card. It's going to open it up on another tab. This open invoice is the same thing as me just double clicking. Now, if you have a customer that needs multiple invoices, then you use batch print. So I go here. Again, you can set your start and end date. And what you're going to do here is just simply select the invoices you want. Once you have them selected, you can either print them or save them as PDF. So it makes it really easy that way. All right, cancel. So that's a basic customer entry and setup right there.